Hello and welcome to this episode of the AI Show. Seth here. How exciting, another week. We're so glad you could spend it with us here this morning. Well, this evening or this afternoon, wherever you may be. We got some cool stuff today. Pretty excited about that. And if you're watching this later on in a recording, hello to you as well. All right, where's everybody coming from? All side of the eye. Side of the eye. Side of the eye. Take a look at where everyone's coming from. So this is the place where we do all things AI. We've been doing the AI show for quite some time, actually. Believe it or not, we started a while ago, then we stopped for a second, and then we come back. But I don't know. I like talking about AI stuff. Pretty excited about that. Okay, let's see. What are we doing this week? Let me share my screen here. Boom. Show mouse. Today, we are going to be doing live Interpreter with Jackie King. Awesome dude. He's a good guy. Hopefully he can come. Oh, looks like his network is not good today, so he will not come. But I'll show you some stuff that we recorded just the other day. It's great stuff. Maybe we'll go and look at some of the docs and play with it. Second half, I actually have some work to get done. So I thought, why not get it done together? You know what I'm saying? You know? So for number 2, I have a project called Prompty. I did a little bit on this last week, but I actually have to work on I'm supposed to get the internals done this weekend, and I just did not. So in the new Prompty spec, there's a lot of what is called there's a lot of polymorphism based upon attributes in a YAML file. And I started looking at something called, because I wanted the C#, because one of the things is that it did not have good C# implementation. Python was great because it's easier, right? It's a dynamic language. And so maybe we'll work on some polymorphic kind YAML instantiation. How about that? Polymorphic kind YAML instantiation. How's that for a $5 phrase? $5 phrase here from the AI show. So that's what we're gonna do that a little bit today, and then we'll do a little review of what Prompty is, just for kicks and giggles. And then this week, by the way, tell us where it comes from. Side of the eye. I'll take a look at. Well, actually, most people. Maybe I should do a show on my setup. But what I'm looking at right now is a screen that has all of the stuff in it. So when I say side of the eye, sometimes I mean like that. Looks like we have Richard here with us. Hello, Richard. How are you, buddy? Party time indeed. Oh, I did not change this. Let me change it to this. This one's better. There we go. Now I can say party time. Yes. Welcome. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing today with these two things. And also any of your questions or comments. I really want to get to a place where I started working on this. Here, I'll spitball with y'all. I want to get to a place where people could go into a site and record an idea or thought or whatever, and then we play it here as part of the show, you know, like thoughts, deep AI thoughts from the community. And then we just play them and then talk about them. So I want to do that too. To be fair, I started vibe coding it a little bit. And I got pretty far. But I didn't finish. Oh, look at this. Richard is from Canada, British Columbia. I will be in Toronto starting tomorrow. I leave tomorrow. And then there's an AI tour there. And then I'll be in Ottawa on Friday for a different AI tour. So make sure to go that. Make sure if you're around, come say hi to me at the AI tour. Okay. Yeah, I know. Deep thoughts. I know. It's a great idea. Deep thoughts. We'll make it like deep AI thoughts. Deep AI thoughts. I think that would be fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. I think that would be amazing. We should totally do it. Deep AI thoughts from the community. I bet we get some. We'd get some bangers. I'm pretty sure. But like I said, I started vibe coding it. I just never finished. Like we could open the show with a deep thoughts with AI, and we get even like we like categorize them into the saltiest saltiest takes. There's a lot of salty takes. I would say that half of them are right. Gosh, I need to get some better sleep or something. It's like looking in a mirror. Salty takes. And so we'll categorize the three: salty takes, pragmatic takes, and wildly optimistic takes. You know, it's just we'll bend them, and then we'll see who wins in the week. That would be fantastic. We got to write this down somewhere, or record it. We'll record it, like right now. All right. So let's get started. Jackie was going to try to be here, but he couldn't be here. Internet issues, as they are. Let's turn it over to Jackie Kang and Live Interpreter. Take a look. You're not going to miss this episode of the AI Show. We talk all about the Live Interpreter API of my friend Jackie Kang. Make sure you tune in. Hello, welcome to this episode of the AI Show. We're talking all about the Live Interpreter API of my friend Jackie Kang. Thank you so much for being with us, Jackie.
Hi, Seth. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Okay, so first time on the show, why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
Oh, yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Jackie Kang. I'm the PM leader for the Azure Speech Modeling and Quality. My focus is on improving Microsoft Speech product service and overall quality.
That's amazing. So why don't we just first start with like, what is the actual Live Interpreter API do so that people get a sense for it? So I'm going to bring up a slide that you brought for us.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I have a chance to talking about our new Live Interpreter API, and this is a breakthrough that like makes cross-language communication more seamless and in nature than ever before. So you can see that what it will bring is originally we have a real-time speech translation API. It has been GA for quite a while, but it's already powered the translation applications and the device like a Microsoft Translator, Teams, and other customer products. But there are some important gaps when it comes to seamless human-like interpretation. Imagine in a global conference, a speaker is talks, but the audience hears a delayed robotic translation, or in some meeting or phone call, the conversation will feel like a choppy with mismatched timing and no personal tone. So the challenge we face is you can see that one is the latency. Yeah, the traditional system usually takes like 7 seconds to finish the speech-to-speech translation, which is much slower than human interpreter. Another thing is voice quality. Yeah, the output if you're using a standard platform voice, which will doesn't carry your tone, your volume, your speaking style, some of the message were lost. The nuance and the emotion were lost. And also, in a lot of app or device, you have to manually set like a source language, which is inconvenient when you have a conversation with mixed multiple languages people. Okay, so the new AI interpreter you can see in the slides, we have bring several, I think, great themes. The first
Yeah.
is you never need to set any input language. You're just using your device, using your app, talking to anybody speaking any language. It can help you to translate. It can already support 76 language, which 143 locales, almost cover majority of the locales in the world. Another thing that we have cut the speech-to-speech translation from 7 seconds to 5 seconds. I will tell you how to do that later. Yeah, because it become much shorter and close to the human parity, it will bring the improves the user experience much better. Another amazing thing is we introduce personal voice, which will really simulate your tone, your voice, so you can start the translation just like using your own voice speaking another language.
Hold on.
That's
So
amazing.
as I'm looking at this is impressive. Like I don't know if people know this. Jackie, maybe you don't know this. I actually my research was in computational linguistics and machine translation. And so the fact and we used to have to do a whole bunch of huge models, but the fact that we can go from like 5 seconds to live translation of voice that preserves intonation, what it's 76 languages and 104, that's actually really impressive.
Yeah, that's amazing thing. We're so excited. We can really bring this to our customer, to the people like really wanted this. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're looking as I'm looking at this, you have a couple of scenarios there. Can you tell us about what kind of scenarios people can use this for? I mean, I personally, I don't know. I watched Star Trek when I was a kid, and I was like, wow, it would be great to have a universal translator. This is starting to get close to that in terms of human language, which is really cool.
Yeah, so we have several targeted scenarios. First one is thinking about in a global company conference or in a national conference. Then the speakers, you are speaking one language, but your audience, they are speaking different language, and they want to listen to your speaking with your own language to understand better. So using this technology, your speaking contents will be seamlessly translated to different languages and using your own voice, then all the audience they can, and because it's a very short latency, it's just like you are speaking in parallel multiple languages and everybody can hear. Imagine that's a very amazing thing. And another thing, like already received some of the customer scenarios that they wanted this is they are in their phone call, they go to the travel abroad, they will call some of the government or hospital or something, but they cannot say the native language, local language. Then they want to, when they have a call, if this technology is embedded into their translator app, think about it. You can talk in native language with local peoples directly, and they know, they can understand your contents, they understand your volume, your tone, so that your message, whatever you're happy, you're angry, you are like a very urgency, yeah, those information were directly delivered. That's
And
amazing part. Yeah.
this is bi-directional, right? So like they're talking, and then I hear it in my language. I'm talking, they're hearing it in their language.
Exactly. They are just, you are
Oh
just
my
both
goodness.
sides are just like talking with people in your own language naturally. Conversation. Yeah,
This is
that's the
amazing. So
amazing part.
I want
Yeah,
to
I
move
really
on to the
want to
next.
introduce how this works. Yeah.
Yeah, so can we move on to like how this actually works? There's another slide. Can you explain what we're looking at here?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm excited to tell you what's going on. You can see that the first diagram is the currently traditional speech translation. We call it a cascade solution. So it will detect your language, translator to a transcriber to text, then do the text-to-text translation and text-to-speech. So everything is like a whole sentence based. So that's why it's caused latency. In our latest technology, we introduced the streamlined modeling, we call it. So there is one model. It will automatically translate the audio into the target language. Just one model. You don't have to call multiple models. And within this model, it will do the multilingual understanding. It will automatically understand what your language you are talking and do the translation without to detect first. And then meanwhile, your audio segment will bypass to another thing we call the personal voice. That personal voice will consume your audio segment and simulate your voice with the translated contents. Then everything together is just less than 5 seconds. So this is the amazing thing. And also you can get this with just 3 lines of code. You can see the code I share is you just need set the target language you want to translate, enable the personal voice, and tell the system that you want auto detect. Boom, that seems is done. You get
Yeah,
the thing. Yeah.
this is cool because I'm looking at this and now I'm starting to get a sense for why it's faster. Because I mean, in the first diagram, the language detection, speech to text to text, and then text to speech, like you can see how that's gonna say you've actually made a single model do that job, but then you've added another model for personalization that works in this at the same ish time so that you can get these things happening in parallel, so to speak. Is that right?
Yes, you get the point. Is it? Yeah, it's exactly right. Because it's one model and the in parallel personal voice simulation happened at the same time, so we can seamlessly. We call it a streaming, like output the simulated voice with target language.
So I'm looking at the code here. It's really cool how you're able to set it up. Are you passing like an audio stream into the service and an audio stream comes back? Or how does that actually work?
Yes, you pass the audio stream there, and the service will, a few seconds, it will pass the translated audio stream back. So then you can hear your voice in another language.
Okay, so I know you brought an example of a video. The video we're going to see next is one where you passed it through the service and that's happening live. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let me put that up.
We actually accumulated tons of the Daten gesammelt, damit dieses universelle Modell die Nuance 오토라의 알고리즘이 요리 지세算法生成更自然的声音.
It's basically happening live, but I heard it like if it was the same person.
Exactly. So we pass the English original language is English audio streaming into the service, and ask the service to generate 3 languages in parallel. Then you can hear that they are just a very short second latency, and then it sounds like the person is speaking 3 languages in parallel, and it's a very low latency and a very nature voice quality. So that's
okay.
I think
And then the other example you have is it happening in Teams. So I'm going to bring that up so we can take a look at that. Let's do that.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining the call today. We're here to explore how AI technology is reshaping our meetings. Reggie, could you start by sharing the developments in China?
没问题 ，AI 实时翻译技术帮助我们大大提高了会议的效率和理解度，让我们能更加顺利的交流。No problem. AI real-time translation technology has greatly improved the efficiency and understanding of meetings, allowing us to communicate more smoothly. Are there any new tools or trends in Japan that have an impact on meetings?
AI によるリアルタイム翻訳が進化しており、会議のバリアを低減しています。Real-time translation by air has evolved and provides barriers to meetings. It's very convenient, isn't it? What kind of symbols are there in Korea?
AI 통역 기술이 정말 큰 힘이 되고 있는 것 같아요. 이 기술 덕분에 회의가 훨씬 정확하고 it seems like I'm really giving a big strength. Thanks to this technology, meetings are much more accurate and efficient, and everyone becomes more actively participating.
Great conversation. Let me schedule a meeting tomorrow to discuss this further. I'll send out a meeting invite later. Thank you all.
That's really cool.
Yeah, as you can see the demo, that's exactly a live demo that we already have published. We have it's already go to every rings, for every Teams subscriber. So if you're using Teams, you can use this technology right now. So you can see that in the meeting, you have a people speaking different language. So if you enable this called the AI interpreter, and it will automatically translate so that you can understand their language like very seamlessly, and it's speaking in a voice, just like I'm speaking different languages when I talking to different language speaking colleagues. Yeah.
And that's really cool. I sometimes I go to other countries and I speak. It would be great if I could like speak into like a little device that actually outputs the audio to the microphone that then talks in the language of the place that I'm at. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly our talking scenarios. We really want to help people who travel globally, who really need to speak to people who speak a different language. We want to break the gap between cross languages.
All right.
Yeah, that's
So
our
where can
goal.
people go to find out? Where can people go to find out more? I know there's a blog here. Tell us about this.
Yes. Yeah, this is just a public preview. It will introduce exactly what we released and how you can use it. Yeah.
And then obviously there's a learn thing where you can go and learn a little bit more if you want to do that.
Yes, it will share your sample code and exactly how you can use it or develop it. Just as I showed in the slides, it's just several lines of code.
Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us, Jackie.
Thank you, Seth. Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for watching and learning all about the amazing live interpreter API with my friend Jackie Kang. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care. All righty, Jackie's here. Let's get him on. Okay, here we go, Jackie. Let's see if it works. Jackie, are you okay? Can you hear us? Can you hear us, buddy? No. Oh, can't hear. Oh, he can't hear. Yes. All right. So first of all, I want to tell you, a couple of people said something like, "This is Mike." He said, "That's really cool. That's really cool." First thing, Austin said, "Super cool." Here's a couple of questions. Is this using the OpenAI real-time models? Jackie?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, this
can
is
hear you.
not using a real-time model. This is using the Microsoft internal transducer model. We call the sequence-to-sequence model. But real-time model is also one of the candidate. Real-time model right now, it's still need one step is make it streaming-wise, because the real-time model take streaming in and not streaming out. So we need to do the streaming out part. Then we're using the latest real-time model. We are doing similar. We are doing those things in the next version.
This is cool. And the thing about it that goes to the next question is it seems like it's really fast. And there's another question from Mike. How long do you have to sample before the translation can proceed? You said there's like a little bit of a lead time. How much is there to get the live translation out?
Yeah, so far we end-to-end it's a streaming input. The end-to-end output is around 5 seconds, but around 2 seconds it because we needed the text to audio voice. It will need some time to processing. If you only need text out, like if you are talking in the video and you want to broadcast your video in different language, only show the caption. It like a 3+ second, 3 second a little bit plus. So that's the end-to-end. So it's streaming count after 3 seconds around, you will see the translation text, and after 2 seconds, you will hear the audio.
So I did not realize this. That was on the video. So this can also do speech to text live as well. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So you can see that the diagram is shows that we translate, then we using the personal voice to put it in your speaking your own language. And this is the average. For some language, it will be much shorter. Some of language, like Japanese, because their grammar is behind, so it take a little bit longer. So 5 seconds is the average time from speech in, speech out. And we are right now is doing something amazing technology. I cannot. It's still confidential. We want to bring it even shorter, like to 3 second end-to-end speech to speech, and text around like 2 seconds. That's our goal.
Dude, I like me and Robert are like, nice. This is cool stuff. And the thing about it that's impressive to me is how you were able to capture the user's voice and their intonation. Like, that's impressive to me.
Yeah, the technology is we are doing in the diagram you can see we doing the audio segment sampling. It's very short, like every 200 millisecond. So it will catch your tone, it will transfer volume, your emotion, your speed, then it will carry over to the target language translation part. It will simulate your voice. So that like if you are very happy or you are very excited talking about things, all the things will carry over, but it's in different language. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's Mike. I don't know if I understand the question all the way, so we might need to ask it a different way. Do you channelize the translated audio to the listener's audio leg? Not sure what that means. So effectively, let me see if I can ask it a different way. Is it just a stream of audio bits that are coming out of the translation API, or is it like sending an event with the new audio chunk? How does that work?
So when you send audio streaming into our API, so the first step, we will sample those audio segment to the personal voice. We call personal voice component. Meanwhile, those audio were also sent to translation module, which will translate to the text. Then the personal voice module will get your audio's volume, tone, emotion, all those things, information. At the same time, when they receive the translated text, then they combine together to simulate your voice in that language.
Yeah, like I said, this is impressive. And on the other side, on the other end, you can get either text streaming or audio bits streaming back. Is that right?
Yeah, you can get both. You can get both.
I see. So,
Yeah.
And then Mike, as you're clarifying, I think what it means is that the actual API will send events with both the text and the audio bits, so that the actual service returns those two things, and then you can do whatever you want with them. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Which is cool. All right, Jackie, any other things you want to add that maybe we didn't cover in the video?
Yeah, I will say that we are talking different surrenders. This one we call the real-time speech translator, we call live interpreter. It will focus on the short reduce, so reduce the latency and make everything like very quick. So that's our goal. Of course, we will also release a new API, which is focused on the offline, which means you send audio file, you just want to translate it to some of the different voice, different language, but in your own voice, but it's offline. Like you were like this broadcast, Jackie prays or says you do this. I want to become Japanese. Jackie and says talking in Japanese. Okay, you can get this done in offline. That one will be coming very soon. So
wow,
that's yeah.
Like, look, I know that in the future we kind of all wanted flying cars, but to me, this kind of technology where I can communicate with anybody in almost any language, almost instant, like near instantaneous, but we're talking 3 to 5 seconds, 5 seconds on average, longer if it's a longer language, a longer grammar language, is absolutely impressive to me. So this is amazing.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for we're thank you Microsoft to give chance for this team to release this product and bring this to our customers.
I love it. Oh,
that's
Jackie,
a really exciting thing. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, bud. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right, that was Jackie. That is really cool. Just a little backstory, right? We were trying to get him on, and he was in a different building at Microsoft, bad internet, and I was like, oh no, I got to go to a meeting, and so we got him on later on, and this is just, I don't know. There's certain technology that you're just like, wow, and there's others that were like, yeah, you're like, hey, that's really cool. And there's others that are just like, yes, golf clap for Jackie. Yeah, it literally great demo for sure. It's just, it's really cool. Where can we find information about the API usage and cost? Great question. In fact, I have it left over. Here's the blog. Actually, let's go to it. So let me get the blog up here. Let me share my screen and we can take a look at that. Share screen, entire screen. Doop, beep, boop. I don't know why I make the sound effect. It might be something wrong with me. Here's the blog. Hola. By the way, Deb also has a channel that all translation all the time. So make sure you look her up. Deb is awesome. Just FYI. Here's all the things: full language coverage, personal voice that preserves style and tone, translation delivered in a voice that sounds like the original. Yes. Amazing. Get started today. Here's the quick start guide. Continue. Here we go. Here it is. Let's see about the cost, because that's what someone was asking in this article. There's C#, references documentation. Here we go. Sensitive data environment variables. Yes. Create speech translation configuration. You can see it right here. And holy cow, that's it. This is a config. Nice. Speech recognition language. Speech translation language. Oh, wow. Looks like you can target multiple languages at the same time. With every call to add target, a new target translation is specified. In other words, when speech is recognized from each target translation is available. Initialize a translation recognizer. Speech, we did that. Learn how to get device ID for your audio. This is there's a lot of stuff here that, and my face is gone. Maybe that's better, I don't know. Maybe it's better that my face is gone. Let me go back to this chat. Here, text. There it is, the translation. Looks like 2 languages. And then translate async. Oh, but this is offline. Oh no, this is not offline. This is the real time. Using VAR translation recognizer config, audio config. Looks like it's doing a WAV file. And there you go. There's the results happening live. Translate speech async for each language, recognizer. Here's the translation. Event-based translation. Yeah, intermediate translation is not available when yeah, that makes sense. And then you can see here's all the, this is cool. Synthesizing here. Oh, here's Jackie. This is offline when you want multiple voice, online support, one voice out, which makes sense. Online voice, very nice. Look at this. Oh, and there's even like if you don't know about languages, there is a language kind, and then this is like a sub kind of it. Oh no, that's not. That's a voice name. That's the person. So that's the kind of voice, which is nice. Manual synthesis. You can translate blah. This is all very cool. Yeah, these are the voices. Man, this is so good. In many scenarios, you might not know which input languages to specify. Using language, you can detect up to 10 possible input languages. Insane. Like we're living in the future here. Living in the future. This is cool. And here's a WebSocket. This is the live one. Using live interpreter for real time. Yes, of course it'd be a WebSocket. Set your test file here. There's your test file. And if you're doing a WebSocket, that means that you can you could probably grab a handle to your audio device and then just shuttle bits into that, which is Amazing. Yeah, here's the event. This is so cool. Using custom translated speech translation. I gotta put this in. I gotta write like a little helper, like Windows service or something that puts, well, no, because these captions, you can already do this in PowerPoint, but only with text. But you can't do it with voice. It would be cool if I could somehow just have a little app that just real time translates my stuff, which would be cool. Okay, there it is. So that's the bit here that we were talking about. So let me look at the chat. See here. Oh, so there's another thing that Richard was saying about here. Event-based should be used in tool execution too. It is. The thing about, here's the thing. And now let's move on. We're moving to the coding part of this whole thing. I guess let's talk about that. Tool execution. Let me turn this on again. To pan, press mouse wheel or right mouse button. Oh, there we go. Right mouse button. Nice. Okay, cool. So I can just right mouse button. So we talked about, and I'll briefly go over this because this is what Prompty is supposed to be sorting out. Let me get this out here. There we go. Okay. So to Richard's point, the way I think about tool calling, and this is, I don't know if this is like I don't know if this is the orthodox way of doing it. I am more of a heterodox when it comes to this stuff. LLMs don't do tool calling. They don't execute tools. That's not what they do. Yes, exactly. Tool execution is based on the response to the LLM from the client that has tools registered as a source to access. Yes, it's exactly right. I'll say it in a different way. The LLM itself doesn't this doesn't execute anything. I don't know where this came from. I don't know why people think this. I know people like talk about it like MCP servers are great, but they're not. It's not like the LLM is negotiating with an MCP server to execute stuff. That's not what's happening. Effectively, what happens is you have some text come in, A, B, C, D, blah, blah, blah. And if you're using real-time API, it's like a voice, right? But effectively, the LLM just produces a response. And this response is going to be text. Or if it's the real-time API, it's going to produce, voice. That's all this is doing. There's nothing else. I feel like I need to say this in an emphatic way, right? LLMs do not execute code more at 11. Right? I mean, I don't know what else to say. That's not what LLMs do. And there's this misguided apprehension that, hey, this model is going to execute things. No, it's the people making the service that uses an LLM that calls stuff. And so if anything, don't blame the LLM. They are an innocent bystander in all of this. It's almost like they're like, LLMs are given a bad rap. It's almost as if they're blamed for the ails of AI, but they don't do anything. They don't do it. They don't do anything. They just return text. The thing about this text, though, is that you can tell the LLM to return JSON or structured text, right? And what some enterprising person did is they said, hey, we can format this this response format. We'll call it response format. We can tell it to look like a function call. And it would be like the name of the function, the parameters, and the values. That's all a function call is. And so some enterprising youth or person, youths, we're all youths, decided that we could do this like a function call. And so, which this is great because now the LLM can respond in a way that makes it so that the person using the LLM can execute a function. But again, the LLM does not execute a function at all. Yes, here's from Richard. But the response back from the LLM to please ask for the tool to be executed and then respond stuff that back in the chat is yes, that's what it's expecting, but you don't have to do that. Like the LLM does not, the LLM is like, please, may you, mayhaps, this is how I imagine LLMs to talk. Mayhaps you execute this function and tell me what the response is. Mayhaps. You don't have to use an LLM like that if you don't want to. You could use an LLM and just say, just tell me what function to run, and then I'll take that and do something else. You don't have to do that. There's no rule that says if you use an LLM, you need to execute the function and put it back. You don't have to do that. It's not required. It's not required. So yeah, that's what this does. And so MCP servers, all they do is they advertise response shapes. That's it. They advertise response shapes that look like function calls. And then there's like magic stuff happening behind. And this is the thing I do not like. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the thing I do not like is how all of this stuff is obfuscated behind services. Now, I work at Microsoft, and we have services that are kind of like that, but at the lowest level, which is where I work, Azure AI Foundry, we do not obfuscate that. We don't. What you do is if there's tool calls that are service side based, we have to call those on your behalf because they're service based. But you have a way in our service with our agents as of 6 months ago, where you're able to put a local function definition, and as Richard says, it calls your code back and says, please execute this and put it back on the thread. And you don't have to. You can say no. But that's how our service works, and it's going to get even more pointed in that direction as we I can't say more. I don't want to say more. Here's another one. Yeah, absolutely. LLMs don't run tools. They ask for them. MCP is what actually executes them and sends them back. Yeah, but you don't need MCP to do that. And if you have already existing like APIs with your own like way of doing security, whatever, you don't need MCP. You could just call those. MCP makes it nice to like expose these things, but I don't know. I worry about the exposure. Yeah, here it is. Yes. For example, if you ask it to run a SQL query, the model will just output a structure request like this. Yes. Yes. And then also, I will say that I don't know how good these things are at making good SQL queries. Hazem will be able to tell us about that. So this is how I think about this stuff. And now LLMs become a programming primitive. Maybe we should have like a programming primitive. We should have a shirt. With like a, what I'm saying, like with the background's all green and like we're wearing a shirt and it's like programming primitive to the rescue, right? Programming primitive to the rescue. Yes. Yeah, Yes. Here's another thing. This is that LLM response is a mix between what the LLM is trying to respond in terms of a conversation and request for information tool. Yes, it is, but you don't have to use the LLM that way if you don't want to. I think that's what I'm trying to say. You don't have to. Like, just because someone decided that chat is the way to use these things, you don't have to use it that way. You can abuse that. Now, this is where you and I, Richard, agree. You can use that protocol to do stuff, but you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be the conformist. Oh man. Programming primitive. Man, this is funny. So that's what this is. Okay. But you need that information. No, you need that information. Why? But you don't need the information from the tool. That's only if you're assuming that you're doing a chat thing. You might here. Let me be more specific. Maybe you just want a thing to come in to the LLM. You want the LLM to be like, you should run this function, and then you pass it off to another system that runs the function and then does something else. You don't have to pass it back to the tool at all. You don't even have to. You don't have to use this chat thing. This doesn't even have to be a chat. It could be something that comes from another function. You don't have to do it that way. There's no rule that says if you don't put this on the chat, the LLM explodes. You can do whatever you want. Like everyone, like here's the fun bit. We're gonna need extra power for this. So I'm gonna dial up to get some more powerful internet for this one, because I think because this is an interesting topic. We'll get the more powerful internet for this. Not just. I think the thing that's important is that this stuff came out not last year, but the year before that. It's like I don't know. In internet years, it might as well have been 100 years ago. I moved on from using it like a chat thing pretty quickly. I used it to do chain of thought reasoning. I used it to do other stuff, but I controlled the inputs and outputs of the LLM. I can use it. So I just use the LLM as a programming primitive to go from unstructured to more structured so that I can drive control flow. Yes. Here's a. I had a question. How many chapters in the book that drove me into this rabbit hole? The LLM with a rag of chapters could not answer the question. Yeah. Yes. And first, Richard, excellent point. The first thing that I do is I ask myself, do I even need an LLM for that kind of query? The answer is absolutely no, you do not. Like, I would never use an LLM for this kind of question. Having said that, you can see why it couldn't answer it. But there are certain questions where if you could just be like, like I said, what year are we in? 2025? These things came out, 2023-ish? Was it 2023? Let's ask the internets. When did the first version of Chat GPT come out? 2020. Okay, so cool. So 2022. So we are now 3 years on. 2022, 23, 24, 25. Right? We're October, so we're a month away from 3 years. A month away from 3 years. I kind of lost my train of thought there. Oh yeah. So 3 years on from this. So it's been a while, and everyone has just sort of pigeonholed this technology into being about chat. Like, I need to make a chat bot. You do not need to make a chat bot. You don't. Like, you could do a claims processing thing that, like, you can use one of our services to get information out of a PDF and then do stuff and then fill out forms for you that, like, look at the thing. You could, like, that's not a chat thing at all. And no one talks to it. Like, you can make these things go offline, do long running tasks. You don't need to do any of that. But yeah, you're right. You're right. If you're the thread of the conversation, yes, but the thread of the conversation doesn't have to be a thread of people at all. It could be another LLM did this, another LLM did that. Do you see what I'm saying? This is where people lose sight of like why this tech is so cool. Is because like we pigeonholed this thing for 3 years into a chat, and the chat is like, I don't know. Anytime I see a chat on a thing and I know I'm talking to a robot, I don't want to do it. I don't want to. Like, and this is coming from the guy that like made a demo with this stuff like January 2023. But I use these LLMs as programming primitives to go from unstructured to structured. And once you think of it like that, chat is just like one of the billion things that you can do. Billion things that you can do. Yeah, that's what I think about that. And wow, that rant took a long time. We're at like 9:19. But I'm curious what people think about this, because I say, like, one of the things I work with a lot of people. I say things dogmatically, not because I believe them 100%, but just so that there's clarity in the thinking. Right, that's the important part. Clarity in the thinking. That's the. But then people will be like, "Hey, you're wrong," and I'll update my mental model if it makes sense. Like, there's a compelling argument for saying, "Wow, Seth, you're completely out of your rocker." Seth is out of his rocker. News at 11. Yeah. So that's how I think of these things. It makes it so that like that you can actually make sensible software with this stuff. And then the engineering trade-off comes not in like which LLM to use, but which LLM to use and how much to make it do in a single call. Yes, and this is so. I think the assumption, Richard, that you're making is that that this interaction is with a person. It doesn't have to be with a person. Like this LLM interaction right here does not have to be with a person, if that makes sense. But yes, keep pushing on, because my earpiece fell out. Sorry about that. Keep it, because like I said, I love these kinds of things where I'm like, push me on this, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I had a guy. He worked in our design and computational information. All that he was. One time in a meeting, he like kept leaning on a thing, and I was like, that can't be right. And so I messaged him. I PM'd him. I private messaged him. I'm like, hey, you were really leaning on this. Can you maybe spend a half hour helping me understand why? And then he went through, and I learned something new. It was great. So the conversation does not the conversation does not have to be between the LLM and a person. The conversation can be between an LLM and another computer system. And it's not a conversation in the sense that like they're not talking to each other. Here, let me show you a crazy thing. Let me show you a crazy thing. I need to share with my with audio. Oh, half my face is gone. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing. So let me see if I can share my screen here. Share with audio, entire screen. Okay. Let me show you something. So this is this is a demo I do. Nice. Turn my debug on. Turn my debug on, and it's not going to work all the way because it's doing my camera. I can't take my camera. So let's see if you can hear it. Tell me if you can hear this. Hey, what can you do? Can you Hey, what can you do? People are telling me you can't hear. So people can't hear you. 1 second. Let me see if I can fix this. Okay. So Rihanna in the back, you can't hear the thing talking. She'll type at me. No, dang it. Stop sharing here. And let me share, let me try sharing with, so share entire screen, share system audio. All right, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. How can I assist you today, Seth?
Can you tell us what you do in Japanese, please?
こんにちは、セスさん。私の役割について日本語でご説明しますね。私はザワスポーツアパレルのアシスタントです。以下のようなことができます。1、ザバに関する質問への回答。
Hey, can you make a Zava Core shirt for me and the design? Like on the shirt, I want you to put in the front. I want you to put like a picture of a cup, and because we are the cup kickers. Can you make a Zava Core shirt like that for me?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to help design a Zava Corp shirt for you with a Cup Kickers theme. Could you please provide a little more detail for the design? 1.
No, you take all of the liberty that you want. I just need to have a cup in the center and then cup kickers on the thing. That's the only thing that matters to me. Can you do that?
Got it. I'll focus on creating a Zava Court shirt with a prominent image of a cup in the center and the text Cup Kickers. I'll take care of the rest of the design details to make it stylish and fitting for Zava. I'll get started on that right away. Your Cup Kickers t-shirt design is ready. It features a prominent cup image in the center with the text Cup Kickers, all styled with Zava's modern aesthetic. I hope it captures your vision perfectly.
Hey, thanks. That's amazing.
You're welcome, Seth. I'm glad you like it. If you need any more designs or have any other requests, just let me know. Enjoy showing off your new Cup Kickers shirt.
Okay, so I want to show you something. And this is the part, Richard, that makes more sense once you see what's actually happening. So this agent is GPT-4o real-time. It's the 4o real-time API. I'm talking to it. It doesn't know how to make things like this. So what I did is I gave it access to tool calls. And the real-time API asks for tool calls. Let me show you how it asks to execute a function. You can see right here. It's like call a function. By the way, this interaction I just had is real. It's not like this was all real. Like it happened right now in front of everybody. It's not like I faked it. It's a video. Take a look at how it called the other agent. It called the other agent with its own language. Notice that the interaction between the voice controller and the other agents in the system, it managed. It had its own threat. Here, I'll show you another thing. This is Azure AI Foundry. Let's go to agents here, just so you can see. Like right now, it's 9:28 a.m. Here's the long thread that we just had. You can see right here. This is the agent calling. This is like a different agent calling this agent. Like this was not me. I did not say this. Notice that in this case, the LLM that's used here did not talk with a human. Didn't talk with a human at all. It talked with that voice thing. It asked for this stuff. this is what it asked for. This is the full conversation that we just had, right? Remember, then we had away, and then it talked Japanese. There it is. And then core, it's core, not corpse. Gosh. You can see it's talking here. You can see here's the agent's like, hey, I need to call this other thing. So I just put this on thread. But notice that the agent, the sub-agent was not executed by a person. And then we get this notion of like a global thread. There's thread local scope. And then you get this notion of scoping these threads so that the LLM can do its work. And all a thread is context for the LLM to do work. It basically goes into the prompt. Oh, crud, we are almost done. Walk-off music there. Hopefully that makes sense. This was an example of me working with a separate LLM, but that LLM never heard anything from a human. Yes, this is Richard. So the response from your voice agent was used to start a conversation with another agent, and then you marshal the output. Yes. Yes. But that other agent could have called another agent, which had another thread, which could have called another agent, which had another thread. So effectively, thread scoping, which thread is the conversation history, or the work, I just think of it as its notes for its work. There could be a chain of agents that are called that have a thread that has nothing to do with a human. No chat. And this is where this stuff starts to get awesome, because as you watch, hopefully when you watch this, you're like, holy cow, Seth is talking to an AI thing that's talking to other AI things in English. Now, I wouldn't have done that. I had to do it this way because of certain limitations. But you can imagine a scenario where I just want to show you the extreme. I would not do this way if I had to. I would literally have it call a function that does the right thing. But it works. By the way, this image is brought to you by Flux Context Pro. That's why the text is fantastic. Again, I appreciate everyone coming today. Thank you so much for spending time with us. I can't believe we ran out of time so quickly. So let me remove that. Hello, friends. Again, thank you. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Next week on the AI show, I don't even know what we're doing next week. Unlocking AI potential with Foundry local integration of VS Code and GitHub with Manav Dalal, and new agent framework for next-gen multi-agent solutions with Elijah Strait. Great. By the way, 2 amazing things. I'm excited for Foundry Local. Imagine being able to use models locally to do the stuff we just talked about. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. We know your time is valuable, and that you spend it with us is a privilege and an honor. Thank you so much for being with us. And by the way, we have good stuff coming up next week, so make sure you tune in. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care, friends.